I say if you got a brand new shooter, start them with a .22 revolver.
Yeah,
light recoil, not big noise, and you want to make it fun. It needs to be a pleasure to shoot, and that way you get to focus on trying to make that projectile go right where you want it, and that's the challenge and that's the fun.
You say that, I know, like Joe Rogan, for example, he's kind of changed his opinions about guns, and he's more pro-gun, now than he used to be. Maybe not as pro-gun as us, but he definitely is, and he's talked about, talking people into. I saw him talking to Greg Fitzsimmons, the comedian, and it kind of got him thinking, like, yeah, guns aren't that bad and stuff. It's great to see that people out there that have exposure to people who don't have exposure to guns, that can kind of bring them into the fold.
Because that's happening every day, and people who are not celebrities or comedians or whatever, just people who are gradually realizing, because so many people, think about it, that your friends or family that are getting into guns or getting a carry permit that maybe weren't into them last year or 10 years ago. And so it's hard to imagine, especially in most states, I'll just say, anybody who doesn't have somebody in their family or in-laws somewhere that doesn't shoot or have a carry permit. You see, and Uncle Joe, even if your immediate family are anti-gun, Uncle Joe seemed like a great guy. He shoots, he's got a bunch of guns.
Right.
So I think it just takes time. People realize there's nothing evil about firearms, and most of the people, by a large margin, are good folks, that shoot. In fact, some of the best folks, can be the most responsible folks.
Yeah.
We were talking about that recently, or I was somewhere, how with, I guess it was Shooting the Breeze or something, one of the best ways to teach responsibility in young people, I think, it is with firearms. I mean, I know there are people who would shudder to think that, but it's such a serious matter that you give a youngster, well, you don't give it to them, but a 6, 8, 10-year-old and show them how to shoot, and they have no choice but to be safe. I mean, they have to respect that firearm, because it's a life and death machine, know. And so I think it throws responsibility on their shoulders in a big way. And if it's taught properly, like you say, you do it right, you approach it right with a small caliber to begin with, and everything. That it can actually make that child more responsible.
Yeah,
my baby brother found a firearm at someone's house. He was 5 years old. Mama went to visit, took the little one. Bunch of kids were playing in the back bedroom. There was a handgun there in reach of these kids. And my little brother shot that gun through the wall of that house after making every one of those kids stand behind him like he had seen us do on the firing line.
Wow.
Almost every day of his life, since we were shooting before he was born. And he would go to the range with us, and he would see us every single time, make sure everybody was behind whoever was shooting. And bad that this gun owner had a gun out where kids could find it.
Yeah.
But a 5-year-old kid picked it up and knew to have all the children stand behind him.
Wow,
that's amazing.
To shoot the gun. So
he shot it through the house, though.
Shot it through the house, but
he had everybody behind him.
But holy cow!
Yeah.
You know, whereas if it would have been a kid who had not seen that training take place, they would not have known to do that.
Or it might just start shooting it at the buddies,
And that's why, you don't just rely on keeping the kids away from them, you teach them too. So if for some reason you make a mistake, we're all prone to that, and they find it, and it's going to be okay.
If you're ever up against a child with a handgun, because they may think it's a toy, they may want to play and shoot it at you. The proper technique is to pick a safe, inanimate object and challenge the child to shoot that object. As opposed to going, I'm going to get the gun. They're going, no, we want to play with you. Challenge them to shoot that dresser over there or that tree.
That's a really bizarre situation.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
But those situations happen.
Yeah.
And so we just have to all learn these little kind of techniques.
Yeah.
That came from my dad's training from 32 years as a police officer. They learned that, because kids will play with guns, and so instead of it being a game
Yeah.
Daddy, I'm going to shoot at you. You know, shoot that bucket over there.
Yeah.
Shoot that thing. And
yeah, use your common sense and maturity and say, yeah, let's see if you, I bet you can't hit that bucket or something.
Exactly.
And then as you're talking about it, but before you shoot it, go ahead and aim at it. And I'm going to move over, you know, and then maybe you can get it out of their hand. But yeah,
Exactly.
get their attention diverted to something else first.
so
Yeah, that's interesting.
just
Yeah.
a tip.